Sam Altman just issued his final message regarding the whole OpenAI fiasco. In this message, he discusses what happened behind the scenes, what he thinks of Ilya, the chief scientist of OpenAI and the man who started this coup, and also his thoughts on Tasha and Helen, the two other board members that were responsible for firing him. Pretty fascinating stuff, to be honest. It all started with this tweet from OpenAI just 5 hours ago. Sam Altman is back as CEO, Mira Murati as CTO, and Greg Brockman as president. OpenAI has a new initial board, message from Sama and board chair Brett Taylor. So we knew all of this, but we didn't know the stuff inside of the message, which reveals some pretty fascinating insights. Now, before I do that, I want to show you some tweets from Sam Altman. So 2 hours ago, he posted this. A year ago tonight, we were probably just sitting around the office, putting the finishing touches on ChatGPT before the next morning's launch. What a year it's been. And if you think about it, it has been an absolutely insane year for AI. And that naturally begs the question, what about the next year? What about, a year from now, 2024, we will be sitting here and what will the world look like? We might have GPT-5, Gemini, some AI models that we can't even predict right now. It's crazy. So another tweet where he just replies to the OpenAI tweet, he posted this, which is about the conflict of interest with Adam D'Angelo, the CEO of Quora. So Sam Altman says, I recognize that during this process, some questions were raised about Adam's potential conflict of interest running Quora and Poe while being at the OpenAI board. For the record, I want to state that Adam has always been very clear with me and the board about the potential conflict and doing whatever he needed to do, recusing himself when appropriate, and even offering to leave the board if we ever thought it was necessary, to appropriately manage the situation and to avoid conflicted decision-making. Quora is a large customer of OpenAI, and we found it helpful to have customer representation on our board. We expect that if OpenAI is as successful as we hope it will, as successful as we hope, it will touch many parts of the economy and have large, complex relationships with many other entities in the world. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, he's saying that there will always be conflict of interest and, that it might actually be a good thing to have one of the large enterprise customers on the board. I don't know. That's, questionable, but hey, at least he addressed it. So, wait, this is the same tweet. So, okay, this is the next tweet. The best interests of the company and the mission always come first. It is clear that there were real misunderstandings between me and the board. For my part, it is incredibly important to learn from this experience and apply those learnings as we move forward as a company. So I wonder, what does he mean by this, So, because right now Sam knows that his position isn't as concrete and as secure as he maybe thought it was 2 weeks ago, because, the board can remove him. So I wonder, what kind of learnings and lessons will he take away from this, and how will he secure his position more? Because, he already spent the last 8 years of his life on OpenAI, so he can spend the next 5 on it again, and, it's like you are risking so much if the board can just one day decide to remove you. So I wonder how he will, prevent that from happening again. I welcome the board's independent review of all recent events. Wait, so this is like an invitation. So it's like an encouraging statement. I mean, it's a little bit of a weird way to phrase it, but I guess the entire world would like to hear the rationale from the board. But yeah, okay, so he will, this is, just a general statement, but in the actual message, he dives into this deeper. So those were Sam Altman's tweets. Now let's dive into his final statement about this chaos. So this comes from the official OpenAI website. So, okay, this is basically the tweet. Now, below are messages from CEO Sam Altman and board chair Brett Taylor. We will look at who that is in a bit. Message from Sam to the company. I am returning to OpenAI as CEO. Mira will return to her role as CTO. The new initial board will consist of Brett Taylor, chairman, Larry Summers, and Adam D'Angelo. So just 3 people on the board, which is, for a $90 billion company, that's a small board. I have never been more excited about the future. I am extremely grateful for everyone's hard work in an unclear and unprecedented situation. And I believe our resilience and spirit set us apart in the industry. I feel so good about our probability of success for achieving this mission. Whenever you see like something like this, you know that it's Sam Altman writing it. Before getting to what comes next, I'd like to share some thanks. I love and respect Ilya. I think he's a guiding light of the field and a gem of a human being. I harbor zero ill will towards him. While Ilya will no longer serve on the board, we hope to continue our working relationship and are discussing how we can continue his work at OpenAI. So this is interesting because it kind of says that, yeah, he won't be on the board, but it's also not clear whether he will be at OpenAI. Because like Sam Altman says that he wants him to be there because obviously like Ilya is probably the greatest AI researcher in the world. So, losing him, even though he was kind of the one who caused this entire chaos, losing him would be a big hit for OpenAI. And if he went to Google, let's say, then, the entire course of the AI revolution might be different. So it makes sense that Sam still wants him at the company. Now, it's interesting the way he phrased it, right? Because he said like, and are discussing how we can continue his work in OpenAI. So I guess maybe they want to put some restrictions on it. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but like, this means that it's still not clear what he will do, whether he will be the chief scientist of OpenAI or just one of the researchers. I mean, obviously he will always be, one of the top researchers, but like, it's interesting the way he phrased it because it makes it seem that it's not yet decided whether Ilya will be at the company. Okay, let's continue. I'm grateful to Adam, Tasha, and Helen for working with us to come to this solution that best serves the mission. I'm excited to continue to work with Adam, and I'm sincerely thankful to Helen and Tasha for investing a huge amount of effort in this process. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this statement is sincere. Maybe it is sincere, but like, I don't think it has any meaning because like, of course they had to invest a huge amount of effort in this process because they caused this entire thing. So it's like, it's like if someone robs a house and then the policeman says, oh, thanks mate, thanks for, after they catch him, it's like, thanks bro, like, for investing a lot of time in this investigation, it's like, appreciate it. It's like, yeah, he robbed the house. Like, he kind of has to invest a huge amount of effort. Anyway, thank you also to Emmet, who had a key and constructive role in helping us reach this outcome. Emmet's dedication to AI safety and balancing stakeholders' interest was clear. What a corporate sentence this is, man. Mira did an amazing job throughout all of this, serving the mission, the team, the company selfless throughout. She is an incredible leader, and OpenAI would not be OpenAI without her. Thank you. Okay, this sounded much more honest. Greg and I are partners in running the company. We have never quite figured out how to communicate that on the org chart, but we will. In the meantime, I just wanted to make it clear. So this is interesting because basically, when Sam Altman was fired, Greg Brockman immediately announced that he's stepping down. So it's almost as if OpenAI had 2 CEOs. Now, as he mentions here, like, that would be very weird on the org chart to have 2 co-CEOs, but maybe they will, figure that out and just make Greg Brockman the second CEO. Because right now he's the president, and that's like, it is obviously a super important role, but when people think of who's leading the company, they always think of the CEO first. I guess the president is more like, in finance and law firms, that's more common to refer to the president. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that he, confirms that basically they are both running the company. So I guess they could do something like, in the Roman Empire when they have 3 consuls or something like that. That would be interesting. In the meantime, thank you for everything you have done since the very beginning and for how you handled things from the moment this started and over the last week. It's kind of crazy how all of this just happened like in the last 10 days or something. It's like literally 2 weeks ago, like OpenAI was a normal, growing startup, and then it set the world on fire. The leadership team, Mira, Brad, Jason, Che, Hannah, Diane, Anna, Bob, Srinivas, Matt, oh my god, man, so many names, is clearly ready to run the company without me. Whoa, 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 Sam Altman, do not scare us like this. They say one way to evaluate the CEO is how you pick and train your potential successors. On that metric, I am doing far better than I realized. So, if we speculate who could be the potential successor, I mean, obviously, number 1 is Greg Brockman. Then obviously there's Mira Murati. But, like, out of all these people, it could technically be anybody. I mean, I guess maybe apart from, like, the, lead AI researchers like Wojciech Zaremba, because he's always going to be probably on the, like, science research team rather than, managing and leading people. But I don't know. Obviously, we can't predict who will be the future CEO because in the last 10 days there were already 4 CEO changes. So let's keep it at Sam Altman for a bit before we discuss who the next CEO could be. It's clear to me that the company is in great hands, and I hope this is abundantly clear to everyone. Thank you all. Jakub, Shimon, and Alexander are exceptional talents, and I'm so happy they have rejoined to move us and our research forward. Thank you. To all of you, our team, I am sure books are going to be written about this time period. Books and movies for sure. And I hope the first thing they say is how amazing the entire team has been. Now that we're through all of this, we didn't lose a single employee. Wow. Now, that's actually impressive given OpenAI has like 770 people. So not a single person deserted to Google, to XAI, to Meta. It's like the loyalty of the OpenAI team is, wow, impressive. You stood firm for each other, this company and our mission. One of the most important things for the team that builds AGI safety is the ability to handle stressful and uncertain situations and maintain good judgment throughout. Top marks. Thank you all. Satya, Kevin, Amy, and Brad have been incredible partners throughout this, with exactly the right priorities all the way through. They've had our backs and were ready to welcome us, all of us, if we couldn't achieve our primary goal. This means like the primary goal was to get OpenAI back in order, which I guess they pulled through. Again, we still like need to hear from the board, like what happened and why didn't they resign sooner, and just like so many unanswered questions, because right now it's just like we see the surface level, but like it's literally an iceberg. We see like the top 10%, but literally the bottom 90% is like even more interesting. So I need to see like a 5-hour podcast from every single board member, from Sam, Greg, Ilya. It's like, man, what happened? Why did they fire him? Why didn't they step down sooner? Why didn't they, make this a slower decision? Why was this so rushed? Like what, who started this? Was it Ilya? It's like so many unanswered questions that we may never hear the answer of, which is unfortunate. But so far, this article is, the best we have in terms of looking behind the scenes. We clearly made the right choice to partner with Microsoft, and I'm excited that our new board will include them as a known voting observer. So I guess this is, another W for Microsoft, because they are moving closer and closer within the OpenAI organization chart, and their influence is only growing. Now, given the fact that they have 49% of the company, if they make one more investment, that will tip them over the 51%. Now, sure, they don't have any votes, but I guess legally, that must have some serious implications. So we will see if Sam Altman lets them invest more, or if he just keeps Microsoft at those magical 49%. To our partners and users, thank you for sticking with us. I mean, okay, so they definitely lost some users because the outages during that period were crazy, and a lot of people lost faith in OpenAI, and a lot of companies probably reevaluate their strategy and probably think of either alternatives or maybe even developing their own language models. So this definitely was a hit to the OpenAI $90 billion valuation. But then again, you have all this Q-star speculation, which, might hype the company even more. Personally, I haven't made a single video on that because, I don't know, I'm not really buying it. I mean, obviously there is a chance that they made some big breakthrough, but for this to be this AGI would be a huge leap from GPT-4, autonomous AGI that can make decisions, make plans and execute on them. Personally, I don't see it just yet. Yeah, in 5 years, sure, definitely possible, even faster than that, maybe 3, but the jump from GPT 3.5 to GPT 4 was massive, don't get me wrong. But even if you take that same level of jump and multiply it by 10, that's not AGI yet. That's just, a much smarter language model. So, I don't know. Personally, I think the Q-star is just, some huge advancement in terms of reasoning and step-by-step train of thought. And we will see, once OpenAI releases GPT-5, whether that's how big that is. But I think it's way overhyped, and yeah, that's why I haven't made any videos on Q-star. Anyway, we really felt the outpouring of love, of supportive love, and it helped all of us get through this. The fact that we did not lose a single customer. Okay, this is definitely not true, because I've seen many people on Twitter or X cancel their ChatGPT Plus membership. And I mean, maybe he mentions, maybe this is referring to big enterprise clients, but that would be kind of weird because you don't see the average person who's paying $20 a month as a customer, you only see the big companies as a customer, Sam. It's a bit of a weird way to phrase it. I don't know. Will Hurd, Brian Chesky, and Brett Taylor and Larry Summers put their lives on hold and did an incredible amount to support the mission. I don't know how they did so well, but they really did. Thank you. Okay, Ollie is, I guess, Sam's boyfriend. Not too sure about that. So what's next? We have 3 immediate priorities: advancing our research, continuing to improve our products, and to build out the new board. So yeah, as I said before, 3 people is not enough for a $90 billion company. So these 3 guys will be building up the board to be, bigger, more diverse, blah, blah, blah. All of this modern stuff where you have to have at least 2 black people, at least 2 Asians, at least 5 women. It's can we just make the best possible board of people who understand AI the best, have the best view of the world, know a lot about history, philosophy, psychology, human nature? So can we just focus on that instead of, just trying to be as diverse as possible? I don't know, we'll see. I mean, the last board clearly proved that going the diverse route isn't the way. But yeah, this is the statement from Sam. So then there is the statement from Brad. And before I look over this, I mean, you can just go to openai.com and see the link. But I think it's much more interesting to look at who Brad Taylor actually is. So he's an American computer programmer known for developing Google Maps. So he was at Google for a very long time, I think. Not sure how long, but he created Google Maps. So a product that I think over 1 billion of people use every day or every month. I don't know. But personally, I think I use Google Maps every single day. So yeah. Just this one accomplishment would be like incredible career, but he did more than that. And his tenures at Facebook, now Meta, and Twitter. So this guy, has been deep in the tech industry. He also served as the co-CEO of Salesforce alongside co-founder Mark Benioff. So I guess, this is what OpenAI could do. Sam and Greg as co-CEOs. We'll see. In addition to his work at Google, Taylor was one of the founders of FriendFeed and the creator of Quip. He held the position of CTO at Facebook and was the chairman of Twitter. So this guy, if you haven't heard of him, he's very, very huge in the tech Silicon Valley world. And yeah, now he's the chairman of the OpenAI board. So I don't know. We'll see whether that's a good choice, but so far he has an impressive track record, to say the least. Now, Larry Summers, the second guy to join the board, is an economist, who, like, people have been criticizing that this is a bad choice, but I think he had, like, pretty good track record when it comes to technology and, his economic views. So we will see. I mean, I would have to do a deeper research into these guys to really form my opinion, but from the first look, this new board should be better than the last board. Now, obviously, that's a pretty low bar, but still, any improvement in this company structure is good because, this will be probably the most pivotal company for the future of humanity. So all of this matters. Now, if you want me to make deeper videos on either this guy, Brad Taylor, or Larry Summers, or if you want me to focus more on, the programming side of things of like GPT-4 APIs, the assistants, how to build better GPTs and stuff like that, let me know because I am open to making whatever videos you guys want. And if you learned anything from this, please subscribe. It takes just 2 seconds.